Hello student, I am Yashan Bora, Assistant Professor Alger School of Law, and today we'll be discussing about the topic Act of Judge and General Exception. Before moving further, I'll suggest students to please keep one bare act of Indian Penal Code with them that will help them to understand the section in a better way. Now let's move further. Uh, this particular lecture is about the Privileged Act. Now, Section 77 and Section 78 of Indian Penal Code talks about the Privileged Act. Okay. Now, this section includes judges in the case of act done in compliance with the order of the court. So, you will see that the act of judges in which cases it is exempted under section 77 and section 78. So now let's move to section 77. Now section 77 says that nothing is an offense which is done by a judge when acting judicially in the exercise of any power which is or which in good faith he believes to be given to him by the law. It says that any person, like any the judge, while acting judicially and while exercising his power, in that case, if he has commit any offense or any act, not an offense, sorry, any act, believing it to be in good faith, and he is again, the power is being given to him by the law, then in that case nothing, that particular act will not be an offense. Now we'll move further and we'll uh, discuss it, or we'll clear it properly. Now section 77 says that, or you can say, to take defense under section 77, a judge must fulfill or must satisfy this particular thing. First, that the act was performed by the judge, that the person who has performed the act was the judge. Second, the judge acted judicially in exercising of the power conferred upon him, whatever power he has been given, the judge has been given, he was acting that power or exercising that power judicially. Third, he exercised such power in good faith. Now you, before going further, you must have to know that a judge is having the jurisdiction, like there is the hierarchy of the court which is given under CRPC, and which says that the judge is having jurisdiction to this particular level, like judges of magistrate, judicial magistrate first class is having a different jurisdiction, uh, CJM is having different jurisdiction, additional session judge or session judge is having different jurisdiction, high court judge of high court is having different jurisdiction, and judges of supreme court is having a different jurisdiction or wider jurisdiction. So they are acting judicially, whatever power is given to him, they are working within their power, they are not exceeding their power. You must have heard about the intra virus and ultra virus thing. So I'm not saying that it is ultra virus, but again they are exercising the power which is conferred to them or which is given to them. I hope you must have got this section. So I hope you must have got this section. Now we'll move further to section 78. 78 section talks about act done pursuant to the judgment or court of order. Now it says that nothing which is done in pursuance of or which is warranted by the judgment or order of a court of justice, if done whilst such judgment or order remains in force or in offence, notwithstanding the court may have had no jurisdiction to pass such judgment or order, provided that the person doing the act in good faith and believes that the court had such jurisdiction. Now we'll move further and see how this section, or what is this section talks about. Now, to take the defense under section 78, the person must satisfy these particular points. First, there must be a judgment on an order of the court. Second, such judgment or order must be enforced. Third, the court must have the jurisdiction to pass such judgment or order. And fourth, the person must exercise in good faith, believing that the court had the jurisdiction. Now, first point, there must be a judgment or an order of the court. Now the person whoever is doing the work, he he must be acting on the judgment or the order of the court. It's not like some judge has just said it on his face and not in the written way, and he was exercising whatever the judge has said. He cannot do that. So he must be having the order of the court, or he must be having the judgment of the court. Now moving further, such judgment or order must be enforced. It was in the force. It was not like expired judgment or expired order, or the time limit of the judgment of order has been expired. The judgment or order must be enforced. It was enforced. Now the third is the court must have the jurisdiction to pass a judgment or order. The court who has passed that particular order or judgment, he must be having the jurisdiction. Again, uh, I have talked earlier also that jurisdiction of the court has been decided and has been mentioned under CRPC. Okay, so if the judicial magistrate of first class passed an order, suppose he has given the sentence to the person for 10 years of imprisonment, 10 years of imprisonment, or you can say not 10 years, uh, life imprisonment, and the person is following that particular order. Now the power of judicial magistrate of first class is not life imprisonment. His power is to give punishment till 3 years or not exceeding 3 years. It is mentioned under section 29 of CRPC. Okay, that judicial magistrate is having power uh, to give punishment to the accused till 3 years. Okay, and he has given power to the accused for life imprisonment, or you can say 10 years of imprisonment. Now in that case, the court, the judicial magistrate or the court of judicial magistrate had exceeded its power, and the court is not having jurisdiction to give the accused punishment of 10 years of life imprisonment. Then in that case, the court is not having jurisdiction. But if the court has given punishment for less than 3 years, in this case, then he is exercising its jurisdiction, and he is eligible, or you can say the court is qualified to pass such order and the judgment. Now the fourth is the person must have experience, must have exercised good faith, believing that the court had the jurisdiction. Now if the person is having belief that the court has exercised its jurisdiction, or the court is having jurisdiction to pass that particular order or judgment, in that case, uh, it is not an offense. So I think you must have got this particular section 77 and section 78. 77 talks about the acts of judges while exercising his power, and 78 talks about the person who is believing in good faith and following the order and judgment of the court, and believing that the court is having power or has having jurisdiction to pass that particular judgment or order. Now we'll move further to case laws. Now, in Surinder Kumar Bhatia versus Kanhaiya Lal and others, it is AIR 2009 SC 1961 case. It was held that the collector exercising his power under the Land Acquisition Act is not a judge, and neither he acted judicially. See, there are certain acts of judge that sometimes it is said that he was not acting judicially, and there are like in this particular case you can see that the land collector or the collector was exercising his power under Land Acquisition Act. Therefore in that particular, while exercising his that particular power, he will not be called as a judge because he was not acting judicially. So you have to remember first that what is judicially. Second, you have to remember that whether the work or whether that particular act of the person is the act of a judge or not. And this is mentioned in the definition clause also of IPC. You should go through that definition clause. I think it's given under section 19 or 21. I'm not, but it is between 19 to 21 only. Okay, so I hope you must have got this concept, and I'll suggest you students to please go through this concept after watching this video, while watching this video, and before watching this video, so that you will get the concept in a better way and you will understand in a better way. Okay, so now I'll take your leave, and thank you, and have a nice day. Okay, see you in next lecture. Okay, bye.